Hello, I'm Frank Buckles, the Regional Director for North Langley of the Greater Langley Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber this year is doing a series of videos of candidates for Langley City and Langley Township Council. With me is Peter Fassbender, who is running for the Mayor of Langley City. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, and give us a little bit about your background and why you're running for Mayor.
Well, Frank, as you know, and I know the people of Langley know, I've been engaged in the community for well over 43 years. My wife and I have lived here. I've contributed both from a volunteer point of view, as a school trustee, a counselor, and 3 terms as mayor for Langley City. And I think that experience, coupled with my provincial government experience, has given me the tools that I'm able to give back to the community and make sure that people know that I am prepared to see Langley City continue to move forward.
Okay, I'm going to ask you questions about a few topics. One that's near to my heart, you and I have talked about many times, and it's very topical in this election, is transit. And when you were in the provincial government, you were responsible for TransLink. And there was discussions about whether LRT or Skytrain are the best for moving people down Fraser Highway from King George Station, where the transit line ends now, to Langley City. And it's become a big issue in the Surrey campaign. What are your thoughts on that, and what do you think would be best for Langley?
Well, even when I was mayor and I was the chair of the Mayor's Council, I advocated for rapid transit south of the Fraser, which includes both the Langleys. I am convinced that Skytrain is the right option for this community, and the reason I am is while it costs more to build it, the efficiency of the number of people it can move, and it used to be, Frank, as you know, people left the Langleys to go to work somewhere else. We have people coming out here because people who are members of this chamber are creating jobs for our community, and people are going to be coming. So we need to tie into the regional network. We need to ensure that people can move throughout the metro area, and Skytrain, as far as connecting to Langley, is the most efficient system.
So if you're elected mayor, and of course this all depends on funding from federal and provincial governments, but how can you make the case for Skytrain and that it be built as quickly as possible?
Well, very easily, because while I was minister before the last provincial election, we put $30 million into the budget to do all of the engineering and design work from Surrey to the Langleys. And that money should be used to do that work so that we're shovel ready as soon as we get the additional capital funding. But, you know, we need to stop talking about this. We need to stop studying it. The work has been done. We need transit in the Langleys, and in order for our economy to continue to thrive and people to be able to move around, students go to university, we need to get this built.
Okay. Another issue that's been very top of mind for many people in the whole region has been housing. And Langley City does have a good stock of relatively low rental housing. How can you make affordable housing more available in Langley City? What can the city do, and what assistance does it need from other governments?
Well, again, when I was the Minister of Municipal Affairs, I had a number of forums with developers, with academia, with the real estate industry, with other local governments, and I said the one issue we have is supply. We need to increase supply, because the more supply you have, you moderate prices, and you also give more opportunity for competition. So the city can do things like looking at creative ways to reduce DCCs and community amenity charges, working with the development community. They are willing and able to do it, but we also need to continue to approve projects in a much more timely fashion. It is absolutely crazy in some communities. It takes 5 or 6 years to get a development approved. Langley City, when I was mayor, was the top in the region in providing approvals, but you need to also protect the community at the same time. And I think that balance can be achieved.
And then on the business side, what are some of the issues that you see Langley City Council can help local businesses?
Again, I think we need to encourage redevelopment in our downtown core. When I was mayor again previously, we had a vision for the downtown, which was mixed use, commercial, residential. getting some of the older buildings taken down and new buildings being built. Now, in order to do that, the person who owns the building has to be willing to either invest or to sell to somebody
Right.
who has the pockets to be able to do it. So I always had meetings with, again, developers, real estate community, our businesses in the city, and continued to reinforce the vision that we had for the city of Langley. And that's what it takes. It takes vision, it takes the ability to negotiate and collaborate, and I believe all my experience over the years that I've served the community prepares me to be able to get people to come to those tables and have those really meaningful discussions.
Well, thank you very much for coming to talk with us today, Peter, and we look forward to the election.
I do as well, and I just say to the people of Langley, you have a choice. I ask you to vote for Peter Fassbender on October the 20th.